Zero credit or little credit? Today I'm going to help you fix that, so stay tuned. Hello and welcome back. My name is Micah. I've been in banking and finance for 15 years and I've been in sales 10 years before that. So you may say I know a little bit about money. Well, I also know a little bit about credit. And today we're going to teach you how to bring your credit score from little or no credit all the way up to the 700s in as little as 6 months. So let's get started. First, we're going to talk about how to build credit responsibly versus irresponsibly. Let me tell you a little bit of a story. When I was younger, I used to apply for everything. I applied for store credit cards, I applied for bank credit cards, I applied for car loans, I applied for housing loans, everything. And I was turned down left and right. And not until one banker sat me down and told me the truth. You got no credit score, buddy, and we're not going to give you anything. No credit score means nothing. I had no idea. And it's not until I started responsibly building credit that I really learned what I needed to be doing. Because going out and applying for absolutely everything and getting bad credit inquiries for no approvals, that's not the way to go. So now we're going to talk about how to build credit responsibly. So how did I build my credit? I had no credit at all. Well, the first thing I did was go out and get a secured credit card. A secured credit card has a deposit you put down at the beginning of your application. That can be a couple $100, $500, who knows? It all depends on the application. But when you put that deposit down, that's going to be your credit limit. And when you have that secured credit card, you're going to be able to go out and make charges, and you're going to be able to go out and build your credit if you're using it responsibly. You can use that secured credit card to go put your bills, your gas, your food, and other things on it. And that's a good way to put charges on it. You don't have to go out and buy anything that's unnecessary, but just putting your regular bills on it is something that's going to help you build your credit fast. One thing you want to make sure you're doing with a secured credit card, or any credit card by that matter, is pay it off in full every single month. A lot of credit cards, especially secured credit cards, have very high interest rates. And if you're paying interest, you're not getting your credit boosted for free. If you want to get your credit boosted for free, pay that card off every month in full, and pay it on time too. Doing that will make sure that you've got a good credit history and your credit will build up fast. And one last thing, when you get that secured credit card and you've been paying on it for a while, maybe 6 months or so, maybe longer than that, you'll be able to upgrade it to another credit card at the bank. That's, of course, if you are approved for the upgrade offer. And that's going to give you the opportunity to get your security deposit back and also get points or cash back or miles on that new credit card you upgrade it to. It'll also keep the account open and give you the opportunity to continue to build your long credit history. That's my first recommendation, getting a secured credit card and using it responsibly. My second recommendation is becoming an authorized user. This gives you the ability to basically piggyback on somebody else's good credit history with that account. This could be a family member or your parents or a good friend. But you need to make sure of a couple of things before you're doing that. Make sure they're using their credit card responsibly and that they're not falling behind on payments. You don't want to be getting bad credit because somebody else is getting bad credit. So it's very important to make sure, again, they're using that account responsibly. It can affect your credit positively if they're using it positively. It will affect it negatively if they're using it negatively. So keep that in mind. A lot of banks don't have limits or little limits, as little as 13, on whether you can become an authorized user on someone's credit card. So contact the individual bank and ask them ahead of time how old you have to be an authorized user on someone's credit card. I've got 2 young children. I made them authorized users on my credit cards. And when they come of age, they're going to have a good credit history because I have a good credit history. That's my second recommendation. Get an authorized user on someone's credit card. Number 3, you can go ahead and become a cosigner. That's right, a cosigner on a student loan, a car loan, or a personal loan. It's very similar to becoming an authorized user on someone's credit card. There's a big difference though. Your credit score and your credit history may impact the approval of the loan and it may impact the interest rate on the loan. So be careful. If you are successfully added as a cosigner on a loan, again, have good payment history. Make sure you're not getting derogatory marks and keep that thing good standing. That's just going to affect your credit and their credit. So that's my next recommendation. Get a cosigner on a loan. My fourth recommendation is getting a credit builder loan. You may not have heard of these, but they're out there. A credit builder loan works like this. You give them money, you make payments on the loan, and at the end of the term, they're going to give you that money that you paid into it back. And you're building credit in the meantime. A great place to get a credit builder loan is a credit union or a local bank. Remember to shop around to make sure you're getting the best deal and any promotions that are available. So that's my fourth recommendation, getting a credit builder loan. So that's how to get credit if you have little credit or no credit. Now let's talk about building your credit to a great score. That's right, getting up to 700 in as little as 6 months. So there's a couple of things that you're going to want to keep in mind here. Number one, you need to know what your credit is. I highly recommend going out and getting credit monitoring service. This may come with your new credit card that you just upgraded from your secured card. This may be something you have to pay for, but there's a lot of free ones out there. Get a credit monitoring service so you can see what your credit score is and what the factors making your credit score that score are. Next thing you want to do is keep in mind the credit affecting factors. These are very important. Let's go over them. Number one, payment history on loans, credit cards, and other bills. You need to pay your bills on time if you want to have a good credit history. Paying your bills 30, 60, 90 days late are only going to hurt you. Like I said before, I saw on a sitcom once, pay the bills, mark the final notice, and throw the rest away. Don't listen to that trash. Pay your bills on time if you want a good credit history. Next, credit utilization ratio. That's how much you owe compared to how much your balances are. I personally recommend having no higher than 30% of your credit used up as compared to your balance. If you have a $1,000 credit card, only use $300 and pay it off and keep it down at that 30%. If you keep it down to 10%, that's even better. That'll even help your credit grow faster. Next, credit age. How long you have your credit cards open. Keep your credit and other loans open for as long as possible. Don't close them unless it's absolutely necessary. And when your bank sends you a message that says, we're closing your account because you haven't used it in a while, just use it to keep it open. Your credit history and the length of your credit is going to be very important when it comes to how your credit score is calculated. Next, how often you're applying for new credit and getting those hard inquiries. Lenders will put hard inquiries when you apply for credit, and that will temporarily affect your credit score. So don't apply too often, and don't apply for things you don't need. Next, total accounts and your credit mix. The type of credit accounts you have. The more accounts you have, the faster your credit's going to grow. Now, that may contradict what I said about not applying for things as very often and keeping the amount of inquiries down to what you only need. But as time goes on, the more credit accounts you have, the better off you're going to be. So remember, having a few credit cards, lines of credit, while you're trying to wait to get that house or that car, that's not going to hurt you unless you're not paying your bills on time and not going to get it. So keep that in mind. Total accounts you have. Next, derogatory marks, foreclosures, bankruptcies, collection accounts. You don't want any of these. Don't declare bankruptcy unless it's the last resort. Certainly do not have your house foreclosed on, and do not use accounts that are going to go to collections. That's all going to hurt you, and it's going to stay there for a very long time. And you don't want that to hurt you. So those are the factors that are affecting credit scores. And those are the factors you want to keep in mind and be good about if you want your credit to go up high. So what are you waiting for? Let's get started. Let's go out today and get that first secured credit card, and let's go ahead and start building your credit. Because the only thing that's stopping you is you. 6 months from now, you very well could have a 700 credit score or higher if you follow these tips and you follow these suggestions. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please hit like. Also, please subscribe for more content. I try to put out content at least once a week. And if you do have anything to say, leave a comment below. I do read your comments, questions. I like to answer them. Leave a comment below, and it may even become a topic of a future video. I've done it before, and I'd like to do it again. Thank you again for watching, and have a fantastic day.